C8 Pate back at you, filming from one of my lovely offices after work, late night. The work day is over. Just decided to come at you guys and have a little Corvette talk a little bit about the C8 process and what that felt like. I felt like I hadn't done a video on that, and I kind of wanted to go over some of that for the people that are about to get their C8 Corvette and want to understand the process, or want to understand what it felt like when you got it, or want to understand how you're dealing with a salesperson, so on and so forth. So I think it's one of the it was a long process that shouldn't have been a long process, but it was because of COVID. COVID-19 interrupted so much overall. So I originally ordered my C8 Corvette in June or July or something of 2019. I received the vehicle in like March of 2020. Never got to drive the vehicle or anything. So I was working with a salesperson, and he was supposed to get me another vehicle, we thought, within maybe like 4 months, 5 months, 6 months maybe, tops. So we were working with another guy that wasn't in line. I sold the vehicle to him. I ordered a silver one. I ordered a silver coupe, beautiful car, silver, black wheels, red calipers, couple of little toys, Z51. I really liked the vehicle. I never drove the vehicle. This guy wanted the vehicle. He didn't want many miles on it. When the vehicle arrived, I think the vehicle only had like 3 or 4 miles on it. He didn't want me to put any extra miles on it. I sat in the vehicle. Me and my salesperson that, helped me build mine out, we sold the vehicle. I gave the salesperson a little bit of cash. We sold it to the dude that wanted it. I made $25,000 off that deal. I gave the salesperson, because he helped me out and hooked it up, I gave him $2,500, and I kept the rest of it. So with that being said, I felt like that was a fair deal. I was just going to take the other 20 grand or so and roll it into my new vehicle as my down payment. Hey, I'm going to have a new vehicle in 4 to 5 months. Nope. COVID takes over everything. Factory starts closing, so on and so forth. All hell breaks loose, basically, for lack of a better word. Factories break, closing down. I get my new order in. I get so frustrated at one point, I just cancel my order, right? I'm just done with it. Then about a month later, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I want my vehicle. I want my damn vehicle. So I was just so frustrated that I couldn't get it as quickly as I wanted. And I was frustrated that I love the car so much. Just give some history on it. I wasn't the biggest Corvette fan like coming up. I probably like Mustangs more than I like Corvette. Some of the Corvettes look kind of weird to me overall, like your C5s and some of the other ones. I like the split window. My favorite Corvette, I like the C6 over the C7 for some reason. I can't say I was the greatest Corvette fan. But when I sat in the C6 and drove a C6, I drove a buddy of mine, his name's Dan. I drove his. I love that dang car. That car, I loved that car. It doesn't hold a candle to the C8, but it was a nice vehicle. I like it more than the C7. So when this came out and I started hearing they're coming out with a mid-engine, I started hearing about this years ago. I thought it would never happen. I'm like, well, what would a mid-engine Corvette look like? I think some of the body lines and how it sits in the whole nine, I kind of look at it and I'm like, you know what? I don't think I like the vehicle that much. Overall, the seat. Like whatever, C7, C6, so on and so forth. When this C8 hit and they start showing renderings of the C8, I'm like, man, I gotta get that car. That car is nice. So when I first saw the first rendering of it, it looked like a Ferrari, right? and it was a little bit more curved. It wasn't, some parts of the C8 is kind of curved, and other parts as you get to the back, it's kind of boxy, right? It has a mixture of all. The first rendering I saw, the whole car looked like a Ferrari. The whole car was curved out. When I actually saw the actual car, when they actually launched it, I still was like, I have to have this vehicle. And I was gonna get it in silver again. So I'm like, I gotta get this vehicle, and I have to get it in silver again, and I'm gonna get a convertible. And I'm gonna get the nacelles in black so I can have the whole top half of the vehicle blacked out, right? So that's my thought process. As some of you know, when you go in that, you know, when you go and you try to configure it on Chevy's site, it just goes out the door. You just start, you don't know what color to get. I went from silver to bronze. I thought bronze might be cool with black rims, red calipers, red seats or whatever. Then I went to yellow, and I'm like, can I live with yellow? Is that, you know, I plan on keeping this car. I'm sure I'm gonna like the Z06 when it comes out, but I like this car too, right? So the one that I did get, I finally settled. I even looked at Rapid Blue. I'm like, what if I get Rapid Blue with those Rapid Blue seats, you know, in the LT3? What if I go for it? What if I do what I need to do? I thought of everything. I finally decided on Matrix Ceramic Gray, and I'm so happy I did. I feel like my car looks so much different than some of the other colors that are out there, and I can live with this color forever. I got red seats. I've never had red seats in a car. Usually I'm gonna, you know, be kind of moderate in things, or take the safe route and just get black seats, right? Or I've had tan seats before. I didn't like the way they aged, but these red ones, these some hot seats. It's still to be determined how they're gonna age for me overall. I hope they age and look good 10 years from now. I see a couple of creases, but you know, I'm 200 and something pounds, and I'm getting down there in the Corvette. I'm probably gonna see some creases. My favorite way to get in the vehicle, since I am 6'1" and I'm 235 pounds, I like it when the top's off. I have way more room. So when I sit down in the vehicle, I like to sit down in the vehicle with the top off. So I basically put a leg in, I go all the way in, and then I go down. When the top is on, you can't do that. You basically gotta like slide in sideways, right? So for somebody that is over 6 foot tall, top down. Usually, obviously, if you got a convertible, you probably got to get in the car, hit the button, and let the top all the way back first to actually get it there. Or if you got a coupe like I have, you just take the top off, and then you can slide in the car very easy. I'm glad I got the coupe. I did want the convertible, but the convertible, you cannot see the engine. For some reason, me and other people, when I pull up somewhere, people do want to see the engine. They want to see it. They're like, even girls, they're like, hey, this is the one that's a mid-engine. Can I see the engine? People like to see the engine of this vehicle. I like to see the engine of this vehicle, especially when it's clean, because it does get pretty dusty back there. The glass in between the interior of the car and that engine, that glass gets very, very dirty. The engine gets very dirty. That it's a lot of heat and dust and different things that's coming through, the different vents and so on and so forth. At times, yes, Matrix Ceramic Gray to me is a mixture between light gray, white, and like a light blue. So different parts of the day, the color looks white one point, then it might look like a dirty white, then it looks light gray, and then sometimes it looks kind of bluish. So you light bluish. So you get 3 different types of colors in it, and I like that because in the yellow, you just got yellow. In the red, you just got red. I like a car that, you know, kind of has multiple colors to it depending on the time of day it is and, you know, the lighting outside. So I finally decided on the Matrix Ceramic Gray. So I tell myself, my new sales dude, so on and so forth, I'm dealing with something different. Me and him get the car. I put in the order and put in my deposit in June, late June of 2020. I received my car 4/20/2021. So I was happy that I received my car. I had to stay on top of my salesperson to get my order actually in with Chevy. So it wasn't the easiest process. I really had to stay on top of my salesperson to get my order into Chevy. Right? So finally, he agrees like, hey, we're going to put your order in. So then you go through all these different statuses, right? You're going through 2,000 status or 1,100 status, 2,000 status, 3,000 status, 3,000 status. At least you know a car is going to get built. Then it's like 3,100 status, 32, 33, 34. Then finally, boom, they have a target date that your car is going to get built. Your car gets built hopefully in that time. Now, a lot of these dates are pushed back 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks because the factory kept closing. So it would close and have no shifts. Then they would start it back up. It would only be a first shift. Then they might go to a second shift at some point. I probably should have had that car in maybe January of 2021. Because of a lot more of the closings, I didn't get it till April of 2021. So I'm going through, you have a concierge number that you can call at Chevy, and you can call them and they pick up the phone live. So it ain't like, you know, press 1 for this, press 2 for this. They picking up the phone live. You give them your order number, they'll tell you where your status is. Because a lot of times you can email your salesperson at the dealership, they're tired of you. You know, a lot of times it's just like they're dealing with other customers that are actually getting their cars or ordering cars. So they don't feel like just answering your questions every 2 days. Hey, what status am I at? Hey, you're at the same status you were at yesterday, 2,200. Hey, what status am I at? You're at the same status you were at last week, 2,200. So with that being said, I think the enjoyment and the pleasure of finally something coming true that you've wanted, that you've waited for. I mean, in my whole lifetime, I wanted the Lamborghini, right? I love Lamborghini. One of my favorites is the Lamborghini Huracan Evo. I love that car. Hopefully, I'll have that car in the fleet one day. If I don't, it's fine with me. I feel like I have a Lamborghini with this Corvette. I enjoy driving it. This thing gets a ton of attention. Everywhere I pull up, somebody's like, oh my God, the new C8 Corvette or whatever. People, it's like a unicorn in the wild. Some people still haven't seen it up close. They've seen it, you know, maybe flying down the expressway, or they've seen it on TV, or they've seen it on a YouTube channel. But to actually see the vehicle flying, not flying down the expressway, sitting still. And I'm the type of person, I will let you come touch my car. I won't let you damage my car, but I will let you come sit in it. I will let you not drive it, but you can sit in it. I'll let you take pictures by it. I'll let you examine the engine. I'll let you, show you the trunk feature. I want people to enjoy my dream. I want, like, what if it's a person out there that may never be able to get this car, right? So I want them to enjoy the car the same way that I would enjoy the car. Now mine, I like mine without the wing. So I ordered a wing. I didn't put the wing on, right? So I got the high wing. I think that the car looks cleaner without the wing. So I sold the wing. I didn't want it. I didn't like the way it looked with the wing. And the wing, some of the visibility when you look out that mirror inside the car, or the camera inside the car, that's an actual camera, and you look back there, the wing kind of screws up some of your visibility. So I like it without the wing. I like it, without some of the other stuff on it. I like a very clean, sleek look. It does sort of look like a McLaren to me. Then it also has like a couple of curves like the McLaren. It reminds me of a Porsche a little bit. A couple of curves like the Lamborghini. It just seems like they took from different cars and just came up with this damn car. One of the things that I love about the car is definitely the dual clutch. That shift is amazing. It isn't even a shift. It just goes and does what it needs to do. So that's one of my favorite things about it. Of course, that rearview mirror that I can see, that's actually a camera. I love that. I love the parking assist with the mirrors. Most cars, were being built with that anyway. I love the engine in the back. Hey, the car sits, it doesn't like have a lot of spin unless you're in tour mode, not tour, track. I say, hey, do track when you go to the track. Hey, some people are doing track mode on the streets. Now, if I want a little bit of a growl on the exhaust and I want somebody to hear it, I'll go into track mode. But you'll kill yourself driving in track mode on the street. The car, it's gonna spin. The car's kind of unpredictable in track mode. Z mode, I can handle. It's giving me those pops and it's loud on the exhaust, but it's controllable. Sport mode, the car is totally controllable. So you just have to learn the car, and the car has to learn you. You know, the car does adjust to your, you know, your driving patterns and so on and so forth. But going back to the experience of, you know, getting the vehicle, once they let you know that your vehicle was built, now it has to go through like a QCU or a quality control process, and that might take a couple of weeks now. Towards the end, when mine was coming in, it was only taking about a week to process. So it was only taking about a week for that quality control situation to go through. But you know, where COVID was going on, it was taking like 4 weeks, or it was taking like 5 weeks for that to happen, you know, overall. So with that being said, it was different at best to go through the experience, because most of the cars I purchased, I went to the car lot, I like a car, might not like the color, do like the color, I buy the car. This is the first time that I was able to buy a car through the fact, this is the first time I wanted to buy a car straight from the factory, brand new, you know, hopefully no miles on it. Before, I just want a deal. I want the car that I want, color I want, deal I want. So I'd rather somebody else take that, you know, bad debt equity hit and they buy the new car, and I'm the person that likes to go behind and buy a car that's 2 or 3 years old, where some of that equity is eaten up and I can get some type of deal on the car. So this is the, you know, and I've been that way since my early 20s. In my early 20s, I bought, you know, a few new cars, and I saw how I lost my ass on those cars. Like a new Monte Carlo. I buy it 6 months later, I see something else new that's coming out, or 8 months later. I probably shouldn't be trying to trade it anyway, but I go in, I try to trade it. It's depreciated 40%, 35%. Dealer's trying to kill me, right? So I'm just sitting there like, hey, this isn't gonna work for me overall. Maybe I should stop buying brand new cars. Maybe I should just buy what I want, and I should buy it used. That worked for me for a long time, until the C8 Corvette. So the C8 Corvette broke a few rules for me. I had to have the vehicle. I love the vehicle. I am still happy today that I received the vehicle. When I get in that vehicle, it is my pride and joy. I love that vehicle. I love driving that vehicle. I love the feel of that vehicle. Even if I got no attention at all from other people, I would still enjoy driving that vehicle. That vehicle still makes my heart pump. I love it. I called the Chevy concierge. I kept hitting my salesperson. He wasn't hitting me back. So I called the Chevy concierge. He's like, Mr. Pate, hey, your vehicle is on the way. I was like, when can I expect it? He was like, expecting in like maybe 3 or 4 days. You know, it's gonna be on, you know, a thing with a bunch of other cars or whatever. I'm like, oh man, okay, so I can't wait now, right? I absolutely cannot wait for this vehicle to get there. He told me expected in like maybe 3, 4, 5 days. The vehicle got there the next day. The next day. So my salesperson, I hit him that morning. I'm like, hey, Chevy told me that my car is going to be there in like, you know, less than 5 days or whatever. Please contact me the minute it comes in. He's like, well, they usually come in the morning. It didn't come today. I'm like, well, I'm not expecting it today. They told me it wouldn't be there today. He went on lunch and came back. He sent me a picture. Hey, your car's here. Oh, I stopped working. I went to that dealer. I ran to the dealer. Hey, I went to go see, is this what I want? Because even though I ordered it, I could still back out of the vehicle. I ain't gave him no money yet. I ain't signed no paperwork yet. If I want to, I could still back out of the vehicle. I got to that dealer. I wanted that car. I wanted that car. I said, hey guys, I'll see you tomorrow. So I think it actually got to the dealer on like 419 or something like that, but I took delivery of the vehicle and it was officially mine on 420. So I hit my credit union up. I like, hey, let's get this done. Let me get this check. Hey, I got my, whatever, 20,000, so on and so forth. This is what I need from you guys. They had me a check by the following morning. I picked it up. Then I went over to the dealer. I gave them the check. I'm happy as crap. I'm on cloud 9. I don't even want to go to work for the rest of the week. I'm on cloud 9. You get in the finance office. I done spent enough money as it is on this car. Before the car got here, I had already bought a bunch of accessories for the vehicle, whether they were radiator, like things for the radiator to guard the radiator or this and that, mats, all types of stuff. I had already purchased a bunch of things for the vehicle before the vehicle actually came. So I get in the finance office. What does the finance guy want to do? He wants to upsell me on other things. Hey, do you want the extra warranty on this? Do you want this? Do you want that? He had a C8 himself. He had an all black one, beautiful C8. He got it in 2020. I think he got it in May of 2020. So I'm like, no, I don't want this. No, I don't want that. We're going back and forth a little bit or whatever. He gets to the rims and tires. It's a package out there where you can pay $2,400, and for the next 5 years, if you have a blowout on your tire, or if something happens with your tire or rim, you scrape your rim, curb rash, anything, they will fix it at no charge to you, not even a deductible. So I'm like, man, that's kind of high on the price or whatever. He worked with me. We got it down to, I think, like maybe $1,200 or something like that, or $900, whatever it was. So now I got to write another check, right? And I got to give him that. And what's crazy is that was a good thing, because I got a nail in the tire maybe 3 weeks after I got the vehicle. So the car had to go back in. It does have run flats on it, but the car had to go back in, and the new tire was pretty expensive. So, and the labor to put the new tire on. So we're talking whatever, $500-600, whatever it was. So basically the warranty, half of it, the warranty had kind of paid off for me. So over the next 4.5 years or whatever it is, I'm still gonna have this same warranty and I'm good to go. So that was one great thing. So then when I actually took delivery of it, my dad and my people coming to the dealership with me, and all of us are just, hey, I'm a middle class person. I come from Maywood, Illinois, which is a middle class town. My dad, for most of his life, he made a basic salary. Probably $30,000 a year or whatever it was. I grew up very middle class. I didn't have what my kids have now, where I could go buy them a couple pair of Jordans at one time and they can get all the fresh newest clothes. No, I wasn't like that. Hey, we're going to the store and we're getting clothes for whatever it's gonna be. Shoes couldn't be over $60 with tax, so I had to get a lot of cross trainers, Reebok, stuff like that or whatever. It was what it was. But it made me hungry. It made me hungry for more. It made me, know when I grew up, I want to have fresh cars. I want to have fresh clothes. I want to live a certain way. I don't want to live above my means. I don't need to be rich, but I want to enjoy the luxuries of life, which I feel like I have. So I don't want this video to go too long, but I just I feel like I hadn't given that true story of, my feeling, getting the car, going through the process, again, ordered it in late June of 2020, got the vehicle in April of 2021, April 20th, 2021. So with that being said, where we're looking at maybe 10 months, hey, I got it. I should have just kept the first one, but I am glad that I got the 2021. I know that the first one does not have wireless Apple CarPlay and stuff like that. The 2021 does. So, there's a couple of things on the 2021 that the 2020 didn't have. And I'm sure going forward, there's going to be stuff on the 2022 that my 2021 doesn't have. But I'm happy with my 2021. If you have any questions for me, reach out, inbox me, let me know your thoughts. Again, I love some of the other Corvettes. Anybody that has a Corvette, hey, if you love it, I like it. Hey, good to go. Hey, I love my C8. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to keep my C8 for the rest of my life and pass it on to one of my kids. I'm hoping 20 years from now that I still have my C8. That's going to depend on the gas situation, right? Because the gas situation is kind of scary and weird. You're hearing all these electric vehicles coming. So you assume like, hey, is gas going to go up or is gas going to go down, you know, in like 10 years? So if it goes up, no, it wouldn't be probably that smart for me to keep my C8, you know, gas powered Corvette. It'll probably be smarter to get an electric Corvette that I just plug in and, you know, go on so on and so forth. I'm hoping I can keep my C8, my gas-powered C8. My other vehicles, I'm sure most of those will be electric vehicles in the future, you know, year 2030 or 2050, whatever year God plans for me, or however long I stay on this earth. I think we have a lot for the future. I'm going to do a video on electric-powered vehicles. And as we know, like most of them, you charge them up, the range on them is like 280 miles, 260 miles, and then they're dead depending on if it's cold outside, if it's hot outside, depending on how much you really step on that gas and what you have running in the car. So I'm going to do a video on that, on my thoughts on gas compared to some of these electric vehicles. But if you have any other questions about the C8 Corvette, please, please, please don't hesitate. Hit me up, inbox me, email me, put something in the comment section. But whatever you do, subscribe to the channel, people. Please subscribe to the channel. I still have the same issue where 600, 700, 800 people will look at my video but will not subscribe to the channel.